Hey there, and welcome. Let me ask you something. If I asked if you wanted to be rich, you'd probably say yes, right? Of course. But I'm not talking about being temporarily rich. I'm talking about being rich for life. You see, there's a huge difference between just earning money and actually building lasting wealth. And today, we're going to dive deep into that difference, using the incredible research of Napoleon Hill to figure out what really, truly sets the wealthy apart.
So, that brings us to the million-dollar question. Or maybe the multi-million-dollar question. Why do 99% of people who say they want wealth never actually get there? It's a fascinating puzzle, isn't it? And the answer has nothing to do with lottery wins or big inheritances. It's all about the small, almost invisible choices they're making every single day.
And this right here perfectly lays out the core difference. Earning a chunk of money is usually an event. You win something, you close a big deal. It can be here today, gone tomorrow. But building wealth, that's a whole different ballgame. It's a process. It's all about building a certain mindset and making those small, daily choices that just stack up over time. The key takeaway is this: money doesn't build wealth. Your mentality does.
Now get this, in his massive study of the world's most successful people, Napoleon Hill found something incredible. He realized they all consistently made 6 specific sacrifices. Sacrifices that the average person just isn't willing to make. And we're not talking about sacrificing money. No, we're talking about sacrificing certain mindsets, priorities, and choices.
Okay, so the very first sacrifice is all about your motivation. Is it coming from the inside or the outside? It's the daily choice to prioritize actual accomplishment, what Hill called realization, over the simple desire to be noticed, or what we call recognition.
Let's see how this plays out in the real world. So on one side, you've got Jean. He's totally focused on looking productive. You know the type. Always posting on LinkedIn, making sure the boss sees him working late. His whole game is about recognition. But then you have Maria. She is laser-focused on one thing: delivering real, tangible value. She couldn't care less about the applause. She's obsessed with the results. And over time, what happens? Maria's results speak for themselves. She gets the promotion, builds the business, creates the wealth. Meanwhile, Jean is still stuck wondering why being seen isn't the same as being valuable.
This piece of ancient wisdom just nails it. When your drive comes from the outside, from likes, applause, pats on the back, it's fragile, it's inconsistent. But when it's internal, when it's driven by a deep desire to achieve something real, you become an absolute force of nature. So the takeaway is simple: focus on the realization, and the recognition will eventually follow as a side effect.
Now, the second sacrifice builds right on top of the first. It's the daily choice to chase excellence instead of just settling for what's acceptable. And this is a true sacrifice because, let's be honest, excellence is harder. It demands more time, way more effort, and a ton more focus.
Right here, you can see the 2 completely different mindsets at play. The average person asks, okay, what's the bare minimum I need to do to get by? And so they deliver what's expected. But the wealthy mind asks a totally different question. What is the absolute maximum value I can possibly deliver here? They're always aiming to deliver the unexpected. And here's the secret: someone always notices the difference, and that someone might just be the client, the investor, or the leader who has the power to completely change your life. This quote kind of reframes the whole idea of excellence, doesn't it? It stops being a performance for other people and becomes a commitment to your own character. When you choose excellence, you're not just trying to impress your boss, you're forging an identity. You're becoming the kind of person who delivers extraordinary results no matter who's watching. That's an internal shift, not just an external action.
All right, now for what might be the toughest sacrifice of them all. This is the big one. It's choosing to invest in your personal growth over indulging in immediate pleasure. Our brains are literally hardwired to want the fun stuff right now. But lasting wealth, real wealth, is built by deliberately going against that instinct.
This timeline just makes it so clear. It's Friday night. Your friends call. The choice seems so small, right? Go out for drinks or go home and work on your goals. The pleasure path is easy. It's fun. The growth path, that takes real discipline. But here's the kicker. Compound that single choice over 10 years, and the 2 outcomes aren't even in the same universe. One path leads to more of the same: stagnation. The other path leads to freedom, options, and wealth. The logic here is just undeniable. A life that's dedicated to constantly chasing the next hit of pleasure actively stops you from building a future. Now, it's not that pleasure is a bad thing, of course not, but when it becomes the #1 priority over your own growth, it turns into a huge barrier to the very future you say you want.
So those first 3 sacrifices were really about personal habits. These final 3, they represent a fundamental shift in perspective. They're about how the wealthy think about money, work, and risk in a completely different way from everybody else.
The 4th sacrifice can feel so counterintuitive at first, choosing future potential over an immediate gain. This is all about prioritizing opportunities that build long-term assets, things like skills, equity in a company, or a powerful network, even if it means taking a smaller paycheck right now. Just think about Jeff Bezos leaving a high-paying job on Wall Street to sell books online from his garage. He sacrificed the comfy present for a monumental future because he was focused on building an asset, not just earning a salary.
Okay, the 5th sacrifice is all about focus. So many people fall into this trap of dispersed interests. A little side hustle here, a new project there. They try to do 10 things at once, and they end up being mediocre at all of them. But the wealthy individuals Hill studied, they understood the immense power of deep focus. They commit 100% of their energy to becoming exceptional at one thing. They know that when you divide your attention, you dilute your results. Mastery is what creates wealth, not dabbling.
And now for the final sacrifice, choosing transcendence over security. The safe path, that steady job, the predictable career, it offers comfort, for sure. But think about it. Every great achievement in human history required a leap of faith. It's about being willing to take calculated risks to build something that actually matters. It's leaving that secure job to start the business you truly believe in. Is it scary? Yes, absolutely. But as Napoleon Hill found, there is no extraordinary success without taking great, calculated risks.
So, after hearing all that, you're probably thinking, okay, where do I even start? Well, the key is not to try and do all 6 at once. That's a recipe for failure. Instead, just pick one. The one that really hit home for you. Maybe even the one you know you've been avoiding. Write it down on a piece of paper. Stick it on your bathroom mirror or your computer screen, somewhere you'll see it every single morning, and commit to it for 90 days. Make it your non-negotiable daily practice. This is how real transformation begins, one small choice at a time.
So if this explainer has sparked something, if it awakened a desire in you to make a real change, then your very next step is commitment. It's about deciding right here and now that you want to be on the path of the 1%, not the 99%. And you know what? Your first action can be right here. Leaving a like on this analysis helps spread this message to other people who really need to hear it. Subscribing? Well, that's a commitment to your own growth, making sure you don't miss out on more insights just like these. And commenting wealth down below, that's not for me. That's a public declaration to yourself that your journey starts today. At the end of the day, it all comes down to this. Commit to the process, make the daily sacrifices, do the work, and trust that by changing your choices, you are fundamentally changing your destiny. Thank you so much for joining me. Now go out there and build the lasting wealth you desire.